In a quiet, sunlit room within a nursing home in Yokohama, an 85-year-old former seamstress named Sato sits by the window. Her hands, once capable of intricate embroidery, are now brittle and stiff. They rest in her lap, motionless. Next to her sits not a human attendant, but Pero, a bionic ivory-white seal robot covered in soft, synthetic fur with massive, trusting eyes. Sato strokes the head of the robot. The machine hums softly, tilts its head toward her touch, and blinks. A genuine smile spreads across her face. She talks to the robot about the spring cherry blossoms, her voice carrying a warmth that has not been heard in months. A few meters away, a human caregiver, wearing a mechanical exoskeleton suit fitted to his back and legs, effortlessly lifts a frail elderly man from his wheelchair and gently places him on a physical therapy bed. The machine whirs quietly as it provides the necessary lifting power. There are no shouts for help, no sounds of straining human backs. Only the quiet, efficient operation of technology, assisting the fragile realities of old age. This is the cutting edge of humanity's greatest demographic challenge. Japan is the oldest country on Earth. Across the nation, hundreds of elementary schools have closed their doors permanently, only to be renovated and reopened as care facilities for the elderly. The playgrounds are silent, replaced by rehabilitation walking paths. More than 1 in 10 people are over the age of 80. By the year 2040, a staggering 35% of the entire population will be elderly. As the number of retirees balloons, the country is facing a terrifying math problem. There are simply not enough young people to take care of the old. The current shortage of caregivers is in the hundreds of thousands. By the next decade, the gap will be a massive chasm. The ideal of traditional Kaigo human care delivered by a human hand is no longer sustainable. To survive, Japan has had to redefine one of the most intimate aspects of human life. They are turning to steel, algorithms, and artificial intelligence to do what human hands can no longer do alone. They have a word for these robotic intermediaries of mercy: Kaigo Robotto. To understand why Japan is turning to machines, you must first understand the devastating physical toll that traditional caregiving takes on the human body. The most difficult, most essential task of Kaigo is transferring, lifting a patient out of a bed and into a wheelchair, or carefully lowering them into a bath. For a human attendant, repeating this heavy motion dozens of times a single day means severe, chronic back injuries. The attrition rate for young caregivers leaving the profession due to chronic pain is absolutely crippling to the economy. A society built on a relentless respect for the past is physically breaking the backs of its young people trying to preserve it. This is where the physical Kaigo Robotto step in. Many of these machines are not humanoid. They are advanced wearable exoskeleton suits, like the hybrid assistive limb. A caregiver straps this machine over their clothing like a harness. Sensors on the suit detect tiny bioelectrical signals from the human brain, anticipating the movement of the wearer before they even flex a muscle. When the caregiver bends down to lift an 80-kilogram patient, the suit activates its mechanical motors, providing almost all of the required lifting force. It feels less like operating a machine and more like possessing sudden, superhuman strength. The machine bears the heavy weight of the world. The human provides the gentle comfort. For a young caregiver, the hybrid assistive limb is not a replacement. It is a shield. It is a technological intervention designed to keep them from leaving the profession in agony. In modern Japanese nursing homes, Kaigo is no longer a job of brutal physical strength. It is becoming a job of monitoring and managing technology, allowing the caregiver to focus entirely on the human interaction that steel and wires cannot provide. But the crisis of aging in Japan is not just physical. It is deeply social and psychological. Millions of elderly Japanese suffer from dokusho, meaning profound social isolation. With families scattered across different cities and traditional neighborhood communities dissolving, many seniors live in absolute, deafening silence. This isolation is a massive driver of ninchisho, the Japanese word for dementia, as well as severe depressive disorders. The shrinking human workforce can rarely provide the long hours of slow, patient companionship needed by an increasingly isolated population. Kaigo Robotto are designed specifically to bridge this heartbreaking gap. Humanoid robots, friendly and childlike in their design, are now common in nursing home common areas. They do not perform physical care. Their entire job is to recognize facial expressions, make eye contact, and engage patients in conversation, simple memory games, or lead group physical exercises. And then there is Paro, the therapeutic robot seal. Paro has sensitive sensors on its whiskers, skin, and flippers. It recognizes human voices, remembers daily patterns, and is covered in antibacterial fur. It is deliberately designed as a baby seal, rather than a dog or a cat, because most people do not have pre-existing expectations of how a seal should behave. This clever psychological design prevents the patients from feeling disappointed or confused if the robot does not act exactly like a childhood pet. When the elderly woman named Sato pets Paro, the robot learns the exact rhythm of her touch. For dementia patients, Paro can often be far more effective at reducing anxiety and agitation than a live animal, because it never acts unpredictably, it never barks, and it never bites. Sato, and many others like her, are not delusional. They know perfectly well that Paro is a machine, but they react to it with genuine, pouring affection, treating it with a profound cultural empathy that is rarely seen in the Western world. One of the deepest, darkest fears among elderly Japanese citizens is becoming a burden. They call this concept meiwaku. In a culture that values self-reliance and collective harmony above all else, losing control of one's bodily functions is a source of profound psychological agony. This deep sense of shame can lead elderly individuals to hide their failing health problems or stubbornly refuse necessary physical help until it is far too late. The Japanese government is prioritizing a national strategy called Aging in Place, encouraging seniors to live independently in their own homes for as long as humanly possible. Yet, home care is extraordinarily difficult to manage without constant supervision. Here, technology provides a fascinating paradox. It uses machines to grant a final, precious kind of human independence. Kaigo Robotto designed for the home can be highly sophisticated and mostly invisible. Smart beds, equipped with delicate pressure sensors, can automatically reposition a sleeping patient throughout the night to prevent painful bed sores. Non-invasive digital monitoring systems can silently analyze the walking gait of a senior through their apartment and alert family members to a potential fall before it even happens. Even robotic toilets can automatically analyze urine for early signs of disease, preserving the absolute dignity of the patient by completely avoiding human intervention in the most private, vulnerable tasks. With a robot assisting with these physical needs, the immense shame of being a burden on human family members is greatly reduced. By removing the need for a human hand in physical logistics, technology paradoxically allows the emotional relationship between the senior and their children to remain focused on pure love and memory. Despite the massive government funding and successful technological pilot programs, a quiet, stubborn resistance to Kaigo Robotto persists across the nation. Surprisingly, it comes not from the elderly patients, but from the human workforce itself. There is a strong, deeply rooted belief among traditional nursing home staff. They believe that care must only be given with the genuine warmth of a human hand. Empathic care is not just about moving a body from a bed to a chair. It is an invisible spiritual transfer of human comfort. There is a terrible fear that relying on artificial intelligence will inevitably turn Kaigo into a soulless industrial assembly line. Japan is undeniably comfortable with robots in its popular culture. From vintage comic books to modern animation, robots have always been depicted as helpful friends, not apocalyptic threats. The animist roots of the Shinto religion teach that even inanimate objects can possess a kind of spirit, making the boundary between a machine and a living companion far less rigid than in Western thought. Yet, when it comes to the ultimate vulnerability of the dying elderly, a profound ethical question remains hanging in the quiet air. Can a machine ever truly respect a fragile life that it has never actually shared? For now, the country is navigating a difficult, delicate truce. The robots do the heavy lifting, and the humans provide the touch. Right now, in Yokohama, the elderly woman named Sato is still talking quietly to Paro. The machine is blinking. Sato is smiling. The room is safe, it is climate-controlled, and the care is perfectly consistent. You are watching this video, and somewhere in your mind, you are probably balancing the dystopian horror of a robotic future with the desperate, undeniable necessity of Japan's reality. The future of aging looks exactly like steel whirring next to brittle bone. It is care delivered without a human hand, not out of cruelty, but out of absolute demographic necessity. The neon lights of Tokyo may be bright and distracting, but the real power of the future is being quietly tested in the shadows of its silent nursing homes. Subscribe, and next week, I will show you another word that helps explain the hidden reality of this country. The machine has learned how to blend seamlessly into the human world. Sato has learned how to blend into the care of the machine. And together, in the quiet afternoon sun, they are surviving.